Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the flaming hot grilled cheese burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
The biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime!
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Refreshing and goes down smooth. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
How's your day going?
Going good. Thank you again.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
Hey Bronco Nation, this is Lily Etter with Boise State Volleyball. On the court, it's all about setting up the perfect play. And right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is serving up the perfect deal during our June anniversary sale. In volleyball, every point counts, and this June, every deal counts too. At Lithia Ford's anniversary sale, we're setting you up with incredible inventory and competitive pricing on all your favorite Ford models. Come see us at Lithia Ford of Boise, where your purchase helps support Boise State athletics through their NIL partnerships and athletic sponsorships. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, RoadPaint.com, and the Blue and Orange Store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
What's up, Bronco Nation? Happy Thursday, June 11th, 2026. Welcome to a live edition of Bronco Nation News Live here at bronconationnews.com. My name is BJ Rains. I do this each and every weekday at 9 a.m. talking Boise State sports with you here on YouTube, Facebook, X, various social media platforms. We have a variety of co-hosts each day. And on Thursdays, nice enough as customary on his typical Thursday, it's Johnny Ballgame, a host of Prater in the Ballgame, 95.3 The Ticket. He is there in the Lithia Ford of Boise studios in downtown Boise. I am in the Sun Cruiser studios here in Meridian. Our title sponsor is Lithia Ford. Check out Jim Sturk and Company, new or pre-owned vehicles. You can view their full inventory online at lithiafordboise.com. And Johnny, it's Thursday. We're getting closer to the weekend yet again. Unbelievable game last night. We got a big guest with Big Cat from Barstool coming up in a little bit. So going to be a fun show today. How we doing?
Sports, man. What are you going to do? Right? I mean, last night, the Stanley Cup series that's going on too, no lead is safe, period. End of story in these series. And what a fun time, man. It's hard to believe we got this going on. It's hard to believe here we are almost in mid-June where we get, fall camp starting in, 7 weeks or so, late July, early August. So we got a lot to go, and nice job on the Big Cat. I'm excited to hang around and watch him come on and see what you guys are going to do. I know that's going to be a lot of fun. Good job getting him and booking him on. That's going to be fun, man. Ball game and then Big Cat. It's an honor to warm you guys up for what's going to be coming here in a little bit, BJ. But until then, yeah, we got some good stuff to talk about too.
Yeah, no doubt. And Big Cat from Barstool will join us a little bit later in the show, but around 9:30, I believe, 20 minutes or so. And he bought part of the blue turf, Johnny. He bought a big portion of the blue turf. He also, I think he got the 10-yard line, and then he purchased some extra turf that I believe will, is going to go in their office. He just had Kellen Moore on their Pardon My Take podcast a couple days ago. They took some issues with Kellen Moore giving out like 10 game balls a game, by the way, on their podcast. So maybe we'll see if he talks about that. How many? He says 1 game ball. You can't give 10 game balls a game.
No, you play with several game balls. Okay, there's not one game.
They're not even the real game balls, though. They go back and
you can give as many game balls as you want, Kellen Moore, especially when you're building something. A lot of football's a team game. It's not about one dude and one game ball. And I'm with Sky Ship on that. We don't need to elaborate, but that was silly McGillicuddy last night. Not dribbling that ball out there.
Yeah. By the way, I know Josh Fife, good morning from Twin Falls. Still can't fathom the Knicks Spurs game last night. Absolute cinema last night at Madison Square Garden. Johnny, I'm not going to lie. May have had a small taste on the Knicks money line last night as part of a parlay with my Cardinals last night. The Cardinals win. I'm watching part of the game. They get down by in the 20s at halftime, and I said, you know what? I got better things to do tonight than watch my bet go up in flames. So I turned it off. Turned it off at about halftime, and with about 3 minutes to go in the game, I'm not a huge NBA guy.
I get it.
Like the only reason I watched it last night was because I decided to put a small bet on it in a parlay. But once the game was kind of not really a game anymore, I said, I got some other stuff to do with my kids, whatever. Turned it off, and with about 3 minutes to go in the game, got a text from a buddy that said they might win this, and I said, wait, what? And I flipped it back on, saw the end, ended up going back and rewatching the whole fourth quarter, which was unbelievable. But that's sports, man. It was crazy, and all the famous people going crazy. I mean, is it Knicks finals game or a Lakers? I always thought the Lakers, LA had the both. But I mean, last night Taylor Swift and Jerry Seinfeld and all the people,
Larry David, on and on,
Adam Sandler and Coach Calipari, they're taking selfies together. And
man, it's like they had to win, and I had money on the Spurs. I had money on the Spurs to win this series, so I'm going to be losing my butt on that. But it's almost like for the cinema, the Knicks had to find a way to win that. Yeah. Can you imagine if OG's tip-in would have just rimmed out or something? It would have been like, it's just, as much as I'm hoping the Spurs win, and I'm silly here, but I don't think the series is over, guys. I think the Spurs are going to win Game 5, and we'll see what happens in Game 6 back at the Garden. But
I told my wife as I was turning off the TV at halftime, I said, think about the people that paid 10+ grand for those tickets, and that's what they had nothing to cheer about the entire game or whatever. I just thought it was over.
I was thinking that
some of the crazy threes and stuff that they hit in the fourth quarter. It was just a crazy comeback, but that's sports. It's awesome. And are they back to hockey tonight? I guess.
Yeah, hockey's on tonight. I don't know if you'll be with me. Are you going to the Bymar Country Bash tonight, BJ?
I am not. No, you didn't give me. You invited another friend, so thanks.
Dang, could have got you the VIP pass, BJ. But yeah, I'll be there
I need
tonight
that for Nelly. You're saving me. You're saving that.
I'm trying.
For Nelly.
We're working on the Nelly VIPs for sure.
But yeah, hockey tonight. Great time of year with sports. Always appreciate that. And like we said, Johnny, coming up in about 20 minutes, Dan Katz from Barstool. He also, Johnny, was a big Travis Hunter guy in the Ashton Genty Travis Hunter debate for Heisman a few years ago. So we'll have to ask him maybe if he wants to reconcile with Boise State fans a little bit, because he was a big Travis Hunter guy during that Heisman and was pushing that hardcore. So a lot of Boise State connections. Looking forward to, I know it's kind of a random interview, Big Cat from Barstool, but we'll talk Boise State with him coming up in about 20 minutes or so. And looking forward to that. Now, you guys got maybe the guest of the week so far. Maybe I'll take that at 9:30. But to this point, you guys got the call in. The nice guest of the week was Spencer Danielson, the surprise guest yesterday, calling in, Johnny. How about Dabo Sweeney randomly showing up at the Blue with his family on vacation? But nice get with Spencer calling in to talk about that yesterday. But Dabo on the Blue.
Spencer didn't even know he was coming to town. Like they put a halt on their vacation, Dabo did or whatever, and he said, we're going to stay in Boise before we fly out, and we're going to go just check them out, and we're going to pop in. And I think Dabo was standing outside the Blameyer like you and I do, waiting to get in, waiting for someone to go out of the building because we don't have a key card to get in. And you kind of do that whole thing, like see a guy go out and all right, then you go in.
And they look at you and they're like, are you legit? Should I be letting you in?
Yeah, they do.
Some GA walked out yesterday and saw Dabo Sweeney standing there and they're like, wait a minute, what? Yeah, you can
looking
go in.
And then Chins finds him and then he's like, okay. And Spencer was in a leadership meeting and they just barged in on the meeting. Great stuff, great story. And then I didn't realize Spencer and Dabo, I knew they knew of each other. I didn't know they were close like that. They obviously have a lot of similar interests with their faith in football and their family. Feels like a fun deal and good for Spencer, good for Dabo. That was a fun story. I agree.
Yeah. Now, when he says he's flying out, like, did he just tell the private jet to go over to Boise for a day, or is he literally going to the Boise airport to get on a Delta flight to change planes in Minneapolis?
He's what, $7 million a year? Dabo, right?
He's won two national titles, so I would think
they were vacationing in Montana, and then I don't know where the Boise stop through happened, but you're right. Like, is he really waiting in line there with TSA and waiting to check his flight, getting the coffee below the escalator down?
Oh, we got that Hertz rental car return there at the Boise airport. Let me tell you about it.
Yeah, with his family. Yeah. I don't know, but cool deal with Dabo going on there, and that's funny. Is he stealing our players? That's good stuff, man.
Now, Surf City Bill says, let's get a home and home with Clemson. That's probably not happening. Is that why you guys had the segment about who they need to play in 2027, or was okay?
No, totally random. We just looked at the schedule. They need a Power 4 opponent in 2027, BJ. Look at their schedule. So we went through every single Power 4 team and saw who had it available that week that could, potentially bring in a G6 team. So
who are the couple that made the most sense if folks didn't hear it?
A couple that made the most sense for me. We all kind of picked our own. I went with Stanford, man. They've never played Stanford. It's a power opponent. It's regional. I would love Boise State. A winnable
game.
100% winnable. And it'd be a cool trip for Boise State fan to go watch the game, watch a game on the farm, as they call it, there at Stanford Stadium. That would be, I think, a really cool deal. They never played them. They have some history there. They're both in the same region, but there were a lot of other good ones too. And obviously, like the dream schools, like Alabama has an opening. Alabama could bring Boise State in on 2027.
Hey, Takeover Sports said, let's stop going to the Southeast to start the year. There you go, Alabama, another Southeastern game to start the year.
I think they'd be okay with that one, though. I mean, that's like scheduling Duke in men's basketball, right? You just do it, right? You want to play Duke.
If Alabama called and said, we'll play you, I think you have to do that.
It's Bama and Notre Dame for me. Those were the two, like, okay, and maybe USC.
Prater said USC, I believe, yeah.
He did. And USC has an opening, but they already have Nevada and UNLV scheduled next year. Do you think USC is going to just throw Boise State in and play those 3 non-cons? Who knows? But yeah, there's some openings there, and pretty good conversation to get into as well.
Yeah, go back and listen to that. The KTIK podcast, their whole show gets put up there. I was listening to the interview with Spencer. It's a good stuff, but you just go there on the podcast app, and I've got it right here on my phone, Johnny. So you can go to the podcast app there and download all their shows and their video segment as well. But good stuff getting Spencer Danielson on talking about Dabo Sweeney, and then some of the other things going on with who they're going to play in 2020. That's crazy. I mean, I know nowadays, Johnny, you can do it pretty quickly, but back in the day and even up till a year or two ago, maybe COVID changed this, but you would never have an opening on next year's schedule. You have those things full for 4 or 5 years. So
a lot of teams do too. Interesting,
very intriguing. And it allows you to, try to find an interesting matchup. Like remember when they added the UCF series, I don't remember if that's when you were in LeGrand for a while or not, but when Kurt Absey added the UCF series, it was like, no, it starts next year. And everyone was like, oh wow, because like that never happens. So you can try to get a team that you have a chance to beat or a game that makes sense now, because then you're not getting games like East Carolina, whatever, scheduled for 9 years away that you get to it and you're like, why are we playing at Georgia Southern? Why are we doing this? Like
USF
if you can schedule all these games a year or two in advance, it makes a lot more sense if you can pull it out. But I don't know. Bob would love Stanford. D-Ray wants Vanderbilt. Do they have an opening?
They are open. And the Nashville trip, Prater and I talked about that too. Nashville would be great for the fans, but other than that, I mean, what else is there? I mean, yeah, I guess Vanderbilt's beatable. Maybe not anymore with the money they have, but the Nashville trip would be cool. You've never played Vanderbilt. It's an SEC school. A couple of boxes there. Ole Miss has an availability. You've done that before. I don't know if Boise State would want to do.
Not at Ole Miss, though.
Ole
right?
Miss.
Atlanta?
It was in Atlanta. You were at that game.
That was my first ever game. One of my first games covering. That was 2014, so that was my second year, but it was a season opener down there.
That was Harsh's first year. That was Sanford's first ever play call in a game.
They had a chance. They went to the fourth quarter down like
10
by less than a touchdown or something. No, it was a one-score game, I think. They didn't play great, but they had hung around. And then fourth quarter, what was that wide receiver's name on Ole Miss?
Laquan Treadwell.
Treadwell, yes. Yep. And he went off, I think, in the fourth quarter, and they won the game. But, yeah. Jay Ajayi, that was fun. Yeah. All right. 2027 schedule opening. Go back and listen to their conversation on the KTIK channels. We got Big Cat from Barstool coming up in about 12, 13 minutes, but I do want to talk a little bit about Ben Ford, Johnny, on our list of the 26 most important players. Expectations for Ben Ford, and we'll do that in just a second, but I want to thank Lithia Ford of Boise. Online at lithiafordboise.com, our title sponsor. Some great deals going on this weekend for their anniversary sale, so you can check them out online, view that full inventory, and do all your research and things, but head on into the lot there on Fairview Avenue in Boise, and they're taking care of Spencer. They're taking care of Jeremiah Dickey. They've got NIL deals with Matt Wagner and Ben Ford, who we're talking about here. So Lithia Ford of Boise, return the favor, folks. LithiaFordBoise.com. Sun Cruiser, real iced tea, real vodka. Check out our friends at Sun Cruiser, and they're a great beverage if you're golfing, hanging out. It's low calorie, low carb, iced tea vodkas, lemonade vodkas. Get a Sun Cruiser at your local gas station or grocery store today. My wife took the kids, Johnny, to Roaring Springs yesterday, and they took advantage of the $8 deal at Jackson's. Went into Jackson's, bought a couple of Cokes, and it was they gave you a voucher, and you take the receipt over there to Roaring Springs, and they got like $24 off, $8 off per ticket for like 3 tickets. So it's a great deal. Go on into Jackson's or Extra Mile by Jackson's if you want to go to Roaring Springs Water Park. And again, Jackson's by Extra Mile, it's $32, up to $32 in savings when you buy 2 Coca-Cola products. Hey, Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. I want to tell you about them real quick as well. The best in the mobile e-branch online banking. The Raines family, we put our personal business accounts all with ICCU, and we're just so happy we did. Wish we had done it sooner, because you don't realize some of the small things that you're missing from your bank until you switch to ICCU. So many great options and things you can do, and the app is the easiest mobile app I've ever used to transfer and move money around and check the balances and things like that. So Idaho Central Credit Union, there's a branch pretty much on every corner. Get started today online, ICCU.com. All right, Johnny, for full transparency, Matt Wagner is actually number 8 on our list of the 26 most important players to the Boise State football team in 2026. But I feel like every single time it comes around when we're talking about something with Matt Wagner. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like you've been the one hosting that with me that day, and we've talked a lot of Matt Wagner with you. And so I'm switching it to tomorrow, and I'm flopping them so we can have Prater talk about Matt Wagner, and you can get somebody new. Am I wrong, or have you talked a lot of Matt Wagner on here?
No, I've talked a lot of Wags,
okay.
man.
All
I
right.
really
so
have.
I know you love.
Prater will have
Wagner.
good stuff on Wagner too.
And you love Wagner. You think he has a chance for a big year. I know Prater thinks he might lead the team in catches. A lot of, but just for the sake of new discussion, Matt Wagner is number 8. Ben Ford is actually, I believe, number 7. And we're going to flop and talk Ben Ford today and let Wagner and I believe whoever number 6 is. We'll have 2 to talk about with Prater tomorrow because we're one day behind with some other stuff earlier this week. So anyway, long story short, Matt Wagner 8, Ben Ford 7. What do you make of Ben Ford, Johnny, coming back off the injury? Last year was kind of a breakout year for him. Hadn't done a whole lot. All of a sudden last year he's finally, great story, local kid, living his dream, finally getting to contribute and getting his chance, and then goes down with the injury and misses a good chunk of the season. But we hope we'll be healthy, Johnny, but it's going to be, it sounds like, at least last time we talked to Spencer, kind of a no sure thing that he's ready to go by fall camp and by game 1. Spencer's kind of couched that, his availability in some interesting ways. And so what do you make of Ben Ford? And obviously with so many newcomers at receiver, we've talked about the new guys, Morris and Wright and all these guys needing to step up, and a lot of the young guys, Cam Bates, etc. But Ben Ford is now kind of that veteran leader in the room, and they're going to need a big year out of him.
Yeah, Ben Ford needs to catch a break, a good one this time, right? I'm a big Ben Ford fan. I think anybody who loves Boise State football should. Kind of the epitome of what you want: toughness, grit, stays with it. He's not going to leave and quit and go play somewhere else. Like he stood this thing, and last year he was on his way to having like an all-conference year, guys. He had like 5 teeters before he got hurt, and he missed a lot of time. Like, he was there for the first time, tasting it, where it's got to be a great feeling knowing, like, when you're on the team and you're winning and it's great, but it's got to be a better feeling knowing that you matter. Like, you help the team win. You're one of the guys, like, you made it happen. And Ben Ford got to experience that last year, making big plays. But it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. It's kind of crappy. Like, I've been forecasting the receiver room, and maybe it's my fault, but I haven't done a lot of forecasting with Ben Ford in it. Because the only problem is with Ben Ford is you just can't trust it. You can't pencil Ben Ford in because he's just been hurt time and time again. I will say this. I think if Ben Ford played in an offense that was one of the top 3 or 4 passing offenses in America, think like an old Mike Leach air raid system, and Ben Ford was like the 3rd or 4th or 5th best receiver on the team, I think he could have been one of those guys that ends up with 90 catches, 800 yards, 7 teeters in one of those offenses, just because he's smart.
Or Danny Amendola, something like that.
I was thinking like River Craycraft up in Pullman in the Mike Leach era there, just guys that, Braxton Berrios is finding a way in the league. Like, he totally could be one of those guys. Guys, if you watch, he's really gifted in out there, like Ben Ford. Like, he's a really good athlete. He's not just some, walk-on white dude trying his ass off. Like, he's a legit athlete. He's good out there, and hopefully he gets a shot. But, BJ, I got Rashawn Jones. I got Darren Morris. I got Cam Bates. I got Nitro. I got Quentin Brown. Like,
Cash Williams.
Yeah, Q Williams. I know, man. Like, and then now I got to worry. Ben Ford. Yeah, Ben Ford's back too. The heck are they going to do? I mean, I don't love any of those receivers. Ben Ford's the most proven one of all of them, outside of maybe Cam Bates. But for me, from my seeing what I saw out there, I think it's Rashawn Jones and Darren Morris were the best receivers I saw. And then Nitro really came on at the end. I'm just a little nervous about 160 pounds because he's small. But yeah, Ben Ford will be in that mix. Veteran. Hopefully he's healthy and he gets a shot, BJ.
Yeah. And again, only played in 7 games last year, Johnny, but ended up still led the team with 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, all conference season he was having.
Yeah, 21 catches, 325 yards. He was on pace to be the top receiver. The game against UNLV, got injured, missed the rest of the season. But again, only 7 games, 21 catches, 325 yards, and was really starting to come on and have the year that a lot of people were hoping and expected he would. Again, every time we have a discussion on the show, there's an accompanying article at BroncoNationNews.com for subscribers, and some of the stats, don't want to give them all away, make you read the story, but Nathan Carroll dove into some of the numbers here. Highest Pro Football Focus grade of any wide receiver or tight end on the team last year, Johnny, 72.0. He also had the highest yards per route run of any receiver with at least 50 routes run, 2.06. So when he was out there, Johnny, he proved that he was a, high-level starting Mountain West caliber receiver. And so I mentioned the injury factor, though, Johnny. Like, Spencer Danielson a couple times, like even in spring ball, like was not ready to say like, oh, yeah, for sure, he'll be back ready the season, ready to roll. Like he did not say that. And so is there any concern for you that he'll be back? I mean, it happened 7 games in, and that's 10 months or so, 9 months going into fall camp. We saw him out there at practice doing some stationary stuff, catching some balls from the quarterbacks. But what's your level of concern about just coming back from the injury, but also being ready by game 1?
It'd be very high because it's Ben Ford. We've seen him, not that he's not good at rehab. He's all league at rehab. He's had to rehab several different parts of his body and get himself back to being in a capable position to help this team. He's going to have to do it again. And it sucks. You know how it is if you're not out there in fall camp for the first 8, 9, 10 days, you know how much you miss. Like, it's almost like, if you're coming back then, you're probably not going to play much in the opener. If you don't play in the opener and other guys ahead of you play well, they're not just going to go ahead and sit those guys who are playing well. They're going to play the hot hand. And then all of a sudden, you can get lost in the shuffle and you're 6 games in and you got 4 catches. And you're thinking, dang, man, hopefully that's not the case. But I would be concerned. Yeah. I mean, because it's Ben Ford and he's battled these injuries. What would ease me a little, though, is just because it's also Ben Ford. He's tough. He's not going to go home and cry about it. He'll be back as quick as it's physically possible to be back, right? Ben Ford will, because he's going to get everything out of his rehab and push it to the limit. And hopefully he's back there by fall camp. It was fun seeing him out there healthy last year, and he was good. Runs really clean, crisp routes, guys. Has really good hands. He's fast. He jumps high. He's an exceptional athlete, Ben Ford is, and he's smart. He's been on the team for 9 years. Like, come on, man. Let's give this guy one healthy season and see what he can do. Hopefully this is the year, because there's not going to be any more, right, BJ? Is Ben Ford the oldest person on this team?
Got to be.
He's got to be,
I believe.
But when did he graduate from Eagle? Was it like right after COVID? 21? Something like that?
21, something like that, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he played in games in 2022. That was Ashton Genty's true freshman year. Like, Ben Ford's been around the block a few times. Hopefully this is the year.
So he had 21 catches in 7 games last year. If you multiply that by 2, 14 games, 42 catches. Over
How many yards?
42 catches.
How many yards did he have last year?
325. So he was on pace for 42 for 650 and 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Would you take that season right now from him?
Yeah. You take that 100%. I think Ben Ford probably wouldn't, because, I get it. But I think Boise State fan, I don't know I don't know how many receivers are going to have 40-plus catches. Do you? Like, Prater says that Matt Wagner might lead this team in receptions, and he might. And it might be 37. And then there's a couple of receivers with 36 or 34, or 35, right? Like, It's going to be real weird. And I don't know where Maddox Madsen is going to evolve in the passing game. I don't know how much better he's going to be. I spent an entire summer last year saying Madsen is going to be way better at everything, because I know the time he's putting in. He's going to be better. He was the Mountain West preseason offensive player of the year. He's taking that next step. He didn't. It wasn't effective, and for me, an effective passing game that needed to be. It wasn't. And Madsen needs to take that step this year too. But I'm not going to be there and be a front of the party and say he will. I don't know how this passing game is going to look. I don't have a lot of confidence in it, to be honest, BJ. Right? I mean, let's wait until you get to. Have you done Dylan Riley on this thing yet?
No.
Yeah. There's a guy you need to be talking about.
Him and Sire Gaines, I believe, will both be here in the top 6. But Johnny, nothing personal, but I think Big Cat deserves the stage here, so I'm going to just handle this interview myself, and appreciate you for coming on. We'll be listening 3 to 6 today, and then I'll join you guys, I assume, at 4:15 tomorrow. But I appreciate you for helping build the viewership, and Big Cat, I'm sure, appreciates it as well.
Shout out Big Cat. Appreciate what he does, and glad to see him coming on BNN and giving Boise State Bronco Nation a little bit of love. Thanks for having me, guys.
Appreciate it. There he is, Johnny Ballgame. Appreciate him for coming on. Johnny Ballgame, best in the business. Hey, we are going to have Big Cat from Barstool jumping on here momentarily, but want to thank Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com, the SON Management Group, the Nicolason family. We appreciate them for their support of Bronco Nation News. If you're looking for a quick, delicious, awesome meal, that Cantina line is ready to help you out. Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com, and we my kids love the cheesy roll-ups, the slushies, all the great items there at Taco Bell, so check them out, TacoBellWorks.com. Appreciate Travis Hawks for jumping on the show yesterday. The Blue and Orange Store online at the blueandorange.store.com. You can check them out, the Blue and Orange Store, down there at the Boise State Hall of Fame. You can get those customizable jerseys. They've got the Blue Turf merchandise, over 14,000 hats on the hat wall out there at the Allen Noble, or at the, the location there at the mall. You can check them out there and get 14,000 hats and all the great bumper stickers, car flags, any Boise State gear. Make sure you get the officially licensed in-venue merchandise provider at Boise State Athletics, the Blue and Orange Store, online at theblueandorangestore.com. Hey, Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. Ridley's Family Markets, check them out. Shopridleys.com is where you need to go. And if you're looking for a hometown grocer, that family feel when you walk in, you need to check out our friends at Ridley's Family Markets. Find one near you at shopridleys.com. And rowpaint.com, we'll give them a plug as well. Interior, exterior painting, those concrete coatings, all that good stuff. If you are in need of a painting project, now is the time. Rowpaint.com, industrial, commercial, residential, they can help you out. Check them out, folks, from our friends at rowpaint.com. All right, we've been hyping it up all week. Super excited to go back to the guest line and welcome in our man, Dan Katz. You probably know him better as Big Cat, Pardon My Take, Barstool, The Yak, all the college NFL, so many shows and things. Everybody knows who you are, man. Dan, appreciate you jumping on in Boise, Idaho, man. How we doing?
Of course, thank you. I love talking to everyone.
Well, I saw first we saw you bought the blue turf, and then I saw you had Kellen Moore on your show, and I said, I'm going to just take a stab and see if we can get him to come on and talk Boise State for 10, 15 minutes. And I sent your PR guy, Dom, an email, and you guys said, let's do it. So we really appreciate it, man. Let's start with the blue turf. How did you find out it was for sale? Why did you want to buy it? Take us into the story here on the blue turf.
Yeah, so I, collecting is become a big thing, sports cards, memorabilia. I never got into any of that stuff. But what I kind of have gotten into recently, and it started actually with the famous Colts banner that they put up in Lucas Oil Stadium that said 2014 AFC finalists, which is essentially saying we lost the AFC championship game. We made a lot of jokes about it over the years that they actually hung this banner. Jim Irsay, RIP, before he passed, actually gifted us the banner. And I was like, well, this is cool because this is kind of memorabilia that no one wants or is just weird. We have a 40,000 square foot office here in Chicago, so we have the space to put all this stuff. Then I bought a trough from the Bills Stadium when they tore down the Bills Stadium. That's fully functional now in the office. And then I got into banners and I got into just random things on auction, saw the blue turf. In our office, we have a basketball court, and then we have on the far side of the basketball court a stretch of turf. And I said, well, wouldn't this be perfect if I got some Boise blue turf, iconic Boise blue turf, and put it here where our turf is? So bought the 10-yard line. Very excited. I think it's going to be a cool thing. Everyone knows the Boise blue turf, and to have a piece of it is a dream come true.
And it started with the 10-yard line, and I don't know if you're willing to say what you paid for it, but my understanding is they're going to cut this into little tiny 4-inch pieces for people to pay $40 for and buy a little piece. But you said, let me get a bigger piece of that. Is that true?
Yeah, I got a big piece, and I think I can't remember what I paid for. It was a couple thousand, and but it's worth it because we're gonna have the blue turf. People walk in the office and be like, "Hey, look, there's the blue turf." And now it's become a banner thing where I've gotten a bunch of banners. I got the Florida State when COVID canceled the season. They hung a banner saying they were ranked number 4 when the season got canceled. I went down to Tallahassee. I got that banner. I just recently purchased St. Bonaventure's hung a banner. 2022 NIT semifinalists. So another one where they just lost in the semifinals, which I don't know why you'd hang a banner for. So I'm basically the Ellis Island of banners and weird memorabilia that people probably can't put in their house, but I can put in my office.
Well, don't get people here in Boise started. If there was a University of Central Florida the year they said they were the national champions,
Yep.
Nobody here wants to hear that. So they wouldn't hang that. They might do something else with it if they saw that one.
Yeah, that one would be great. I'm looking for the civil conflict trophy that Central Florida used to have a trophy with UConn. Unwilling to, they didn't consent to it. UConn just decided they were rivals with Central Florida, and they created a trophy for it. I'm still on the chase for that one.
So Boise State, man, like as a sports fan, like just what are your thoughts from afar on Boise State and the blue turf? And when you were talking to Kellen Moore, you said you have this, you believe in the mystique of the blue, or you did at one point. I think they're still, since 2000, the second winningest home record of all time. But what do you make from afar of what we got out here on the blue and Boise State football?
Well, my first Boise State memory is a bad one because I love to gamble, been gambling my whole life. And whatever year it was, 2006 or 5 or whatever, I can't even remember. I said, how the hell is Oklahoma only giving 7 points to Boise State? And that was, so I was on the wrong side of one of the best bowl games of all time. And yeah, Boise, I believe in the mystique of the blue turf. I think it's a really, really tough place to play. I love betting on Boise State when they're at home. I did kind of fade a little bit a couple years ago where, you had a couple seasons that didn't go great. And I was like, ooh, has the blue turf lost its luster? But it feels like it's back now. And I can, bank on the fact that when you go to the Boise blue turf, you're going to be in for a real hard fight and probably going to lose.
Now, speaking of gambling on Boise State, I was doing some research for the interview. One of my buddies said you got to ask him about Hank Bachmeier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right away, you know where I'm going. I guess, it's the story with Hank Bachmeier. He was a freshman quarterback at Boise State, actually went down to Florida State in his first game, and they called him Hurricane Hank and got the win there, but end up transferring a couple places. What's your beef with Hank Bachmeier?
My beef with Hank Bachmeier is that I believed in Hank Bachmeier, and I'm sure he's a nice guy, but Hank Bachmeier, like a lot of college sports now in 2026, guys play at multiple places. And I stopped believing in Hank Bachmeier when it didn't go well. And I was like, hey, I'm never going to bet on Hank Bachmeier again. And then he just started popping up, and I would accidentally bet on Hank Bachmeier. Where did he go? Did he go to SMU? No, where did he go after
He went
that?
La Tech.
Yeah. So I just bet La Tech, and then I'd be like, wait a second. Did I just bet on Hank Bachmeier by accident? So he just went around the country, and I just accidentally kept betting on him. Is he still eligible? I think he still is, right?
And then it was Wake Forest, right, or something?
Yeah. He would just pop up in like week 1. I would just blindly bet a game and be like, uh-oh, it's Hank Bachmeier again.
That's funny. But Boise State, like, what do you make in terms of there's all this talk about CFP expansion, and are they, where do these kind of schools sit? Like, Boise State was kind of one of the first to kind of break through, as you're talking about, and beat Oklahoma and say they deserve that chance and all that. Now you have the power conferences saying, oh, we're breaking apart and we don't want guaranteed spots for those kind of schools. Like, if you look at their score against Penn State, by the way, a couple years ago, it was a lot closer than a lot of the other games in that playoff and that Penn State had. But what do you make of big picture, the little guys, Boise State, and trying to be a part of this?
Yeah, it sucks. To put it as direct as possible, I think the way that everything's trending right now really, really stinks. And I went to the University of Wisconsin, so I'm speaking from someone who's got a seat at the table, so to speak, in the Big Ten. But I think it's really kind of hurting college football overall. And like, part of what college sports is, what makes it so special, is you have the little guys, and you have these upsets, and you have different conferences that may not be playing in the SEC or Big Ten, but they've got their own flavor, and they've got a Boise State, and it's tough to play there. They've got a San Diego State, and they're going to play good defense. Like, all these schools, Wyoming, impossible place to go win a game in Laramie, like all these schools and having the fabric of the sport, it feels like we're fractured a little bit, and I don't like it.
And now we have Boise State in the, quote, Pac-12, which is back. But, I mean, Boise State fans are wishing it was the Pac-12 from 5 years ago. So, I don't know. Their first game's against Oregon, and I don't think the spread will be – it's at Oregon. I don't think the spread will be great, but they do get Memphis in the home opener. So, I don't know. Maybe we got to get you back on the bet. And maybe the home opener, maybe look at Boise State. They're going to have – opening up the new North End Zone project, sellout crowd against Memphis in the home opener, coming off a loss at Oregon. Maybe that's where you make back some of that money you lost in week 1.
I like that. And then how's basketball doing? We actually had the basketball coach on. I don't know if he's still coaching for you guys.
Same guy.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to bring that up actually because, Barstool and Boise State, there was that famous picture that Dave took with the guys that were wearing the Utah gear. I don't know how much you remember of that last year, and that they ended up having a bad season, but I know you guys talked about it on, I think, Wake Up Barstool. I don't know if you were on that day or not, but that was a whole controversy here in Boise.
Oh, I kind of missed that controversy, but yeah, I like your basketball coach. He's the one who eats matches, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I like Boise. I mean, listen, I know you prepped me before, but I know Boise fans probably don't love me after the Heisman campaign that I ran for Travis Hunter. Listen. That was just business. There's nothing I can do about that. I bet on Travis Hunter 20-1 in August, the season that he won the Heisman. I won like $200,000 on it. I'm sorry. Okay. I had to stump for my guy. I think Ashton Genty's really, really good, but it's just business, not personal.
Now, I was out at Mountain West Media Days that year at Circa, which is one of our sponsors. Great spot. I know you have different associations with casinos. That's fine. But on the way out, I looked at the odds, and Ashton Genty in July that year was 10,000-1 at Circa. And I'm holding the ticket in my hand right here, 10,000-1, Ashton Genty to win the Heisman. I was going to donate it to charity or figure something out here. So there was a lot of invested people here in Boise that were rooting for that, and you were kind of high on the Travis Hunter, but it wasn't. You're saying it was business, but Ashton Genty literally came out of nowhere. Preseason was 10,000-1, finishes second, and then is the number 6 pick in the draft.
Well, he should have played both sides of the ball.
Snap count, man. Don't bring up snap count to fans here in Boise. They can't.
He should have played both sides of the ball. What do you want me to say? It's not that hard. Just line it up on play a little linebacker. Get Ashton Genty as a nose tackle for a couple snaps, and maybe he would have won.
Any other year out of like 15, he probably would have won.
Listen, you don't have to tell me. Like I said, I'm a Wisconsin Badger. We had a run of running backs that it's kind of insane that none of them won any of the hardware. Melvin Gordon, Monty Ball, like all these guys. So yeah, it's a hard award to win. I also I think the Heisman is the one award left that is just completely bullshit in that it's a bunch of voters who don't watch the games. And that was part of what we've done where, we had Jaden Daniels the year before, we had Travis Hunter that year, where we realized, hey, we have the number one sports podcast. If we just kind of pump up someone, there's probably people listening to this show that don't watch the games. And so they might take it, it might be, it's not a lot of voters, but a couple voters. So yeah, we might have put our finger on the scale a little bit.
But you're making amends now with Boise State fans.
Yes, I do genuinely love Boise. I think Boise is one of those schools that, like, when you talk about college football in America, Boise is a important piece of like the fabric of the sport. And I do find myself rooting for Boise, especially now that Hank Bachmeier's not there anymore.
Dan Katz, our guest. A few more things for him here. Big Cat from Barstool. We're talking a lot of fun Boise State stuff here on Bronco Nation News. All right, so you had Kellen Moore on your show as well, and you guys took some issue with the fact that he's not in the College Football Hall of Fame. So we can get something else here that you can agree with and get back on track with Boise State fans. This is the 4th or 5th year in a row he's been on the ballot and then doesn't get in. And you look at some of the other quarterbacks, especially recently, that have made over him of note. You think Kellen Moore should be in that College Football Hall of Fame?
It's insane that he's not. He has a trophy named after him. He lost, 4 games as a college football playoff? 3.
And like that's there by a total of like 6 points, and 2 of them were on missed field goals.
That's so stupid. It makes no sense. Like, he is as surefire as a Hall of Famer as you could get in the college football world. So I don't know what we have to do, but I'm down for the cause, and whatever we have to do, we'll talk about it more. But Kellen Moore is absolutely a Hall of Famer when it comes to college football.
And you guys talked to him about coaching NFL versus college, things like that. Like he was in the mix multiple times actually for the Boise State head coaching gig when he was, I believe, still with the Cowboys as their OC. Like before the previous hire, like 3-4 years ago, like they talked to him, and I think they may have even offered it to him, or he pulled his name out. Like he could run for mayor here in this town, obviously, or governor in Idaho, and maybe he didn't want to hurt his legacy, but that was always a dream, Kellen Moore, to come back as head coach. But what do you make of what he's doing with the Saints? I know you do have an issue with how many game balls he gives out, but Kellen Moore as an NFL coach, what do you make?
I think he's going to be a great NFL coach. You saw it at the end of the year. The Saints were probably the best team in the NFC South. They just, had a slow start. As soon as they went to Tyler Shuck, the team had a total jolt of energy. But yeah, he does give out too many game balls. But you know what? I like that. We're going to track it this year. He's giving out like 8, 9, 10 game balls a game. I'm in for that. So we're going to have a tracker throughout the whole season who got a game ball from the Saints' victories.
Now, you were born in Massachusetts, right? But I know you tried to hide that or something, but you consider yourself a Chicagoan, right?
Yes. Well, I've been here for 20 years, so yeah.
Okay. So I won't tell you I'm from St. Louis. I'm a Cardinals fan then, but we can at least get through the last couple minutes of the
Listen, we
interview,
both suck right now.
I was trying to find some connections. There's some, but not a ton, between Boise State and Chicago. They had a guard named Derek Marks like a decade ago, and they went to the tournament and played LaSalle.
Okay.
Chandler Hutchison was a first-round pick by the Bulls out of Boise. That didn't necessarily work out great, but any other Boise State, Chicago connections that you know of? Or
I got to just come visit. That's really what it is.
I was going to save that question for last, but we what do we got to do? I mean, Big Cat to Boise seems like a good hashtag we could get going. What can we – I think the athletic director, everybody would take great care of you if we could get you out for a game. I know your college football Saturdays are kind of tough with all the shows you do, but what can we do to get you out? Maybe you can see Leon Rice do the match breathing thing in person.
Yeah.
Get you out on the blue, and you can see if any of these birds actually do nosedive down to the turf. Any chance we can set something up, have you do a show out here, or just come visit for a few hours?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bucket list. So at some point, it is hard because we do a bunch of shows. We travel a lot in the college football season, but I definitely have it on the list if I have to do it before I'm done with this world.
Maybe we say you got to come get the blue turf in person.
Yeah, that would be tough. That would be a hard bargain.
Do you like? I mean, what do you built this thing up? You're obviously, I think I saw 1.8 million Twitter followers, by the way. So if we can get a retweet on this interview at some point, that'd be great. But
I gotcha.
I think I saw you got 3 kids now, right?
Yeah, I have 3
kids. How are
kids.
you balancing life, work? I got two small kids, 2 young kids that play baseball, and I don't do nearly as much work as you do. But I mean, how do you balance this and what just all the different shows, and how much are you loving this? Could you ever envisioned this becoming and you becoming what this has and what you have? And just give us the life update on the personal side here of Dan Katz.
No, listen, it's been crazy. I think I've been at Barstool for 15 years. We started, when I started, there was like 8 of us. And now we have 2 offices. We have, this fun factory in Chicago, which is a dream. We have, 200-300 employees. It's nuts. In terms of like the life balance, it's not easy. I think the big thing is like, especially with social media these days, people try to give off the airs of being a perfect parent or the perfect life. No one is the perfect parent. No one has a perfect life. So it's just, it's day by day with 3 little kids. It's a joy. It's the best thing that, has ever happened to me. I come home from a long day, and my job's not hard, so it's not like I'm coming home from the steel mines or something, or the steel factory or the coal mines, but seeing them light up and want to spend time with me, it's the best. So yeah, it's really just trying to find a balance. Football season gets a little crazy, but summertime we get to do a lot of trips and spend a lot more time with my kids.
So what are you excited about then? Barstool related, just college, NFL? I know it's going to be you're trying to soak in the quote unquote downtime, I guess, while you can, but what is on the horizon in terms of folks that are Barstool fans that they should be getting ready for here?
Just football coming back. There's nothing better. It's just I get to this part of the summer and I'm just like, I can't wait for football to be back. It's the best time of year. So,
well, we didn't. I mean, you didn't have to do this, Dan. We appreciate your time out here in Boise. And any final words for Boise State fans? And you said maybe at some point you can try to make a trip out here. You say it wasn't personal with Travis Hunter, and you love the blue here.
Yeah, and listen, the turf is getting a great home. It will be on display. We do so much content out of this office. It's the cameras are running 24/7, so you will get to all Boise fans. You'll get to see the blue turf pretty much every day. So I think that's the cool part is we're not just. I didn't buy it to put it in a storage locker. I bought it to have it out and have people interact with it.
How'd you even find out it was for sale?
I now have gotten to a point where people just send me every single auction. Like I'm in on an auction for Taylor Swift's seat from the Cavs game when they played the Knicks. So it's bad. It's getting into a bad, dangerous territory.
And do you know what you're going to get from Soldier Field if and when the Bears decide to move?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they'll keep Soldier Field. They'll still do events there, but that's a whole other. We could do another, 2 hours on the debacle that's taking place in Chicago with the Bears.
Well, hey man, thanks so much for doing this. Congrats on all your success. Best of luck with everything moving forward, and yeah, we'll try to get that going where we can get plan a big trip for you out here at some point and have some fun with it, man.
All right, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, man. There he is. Big
All
Cat.
right.
Appreciate him for joining us. Dan Katz here on Bronco Nation News. And great stuff there from Dan. Always appreciate when, big time guys like that are willing to give us little guys 15 minutes of their time. And that was great stuff from Dan. So we always appreciate him being nice enough to do that and jump on. And yeah, it was just some good stuff there on Travis Hunter and then the blue and a piece of the blue turf you'll now be able to see on Barstool here coming up moving forward. Hey, Signature Roofing online, mysignatureroofing.com, speakpipe.com/BNN. You can leave a voicemail for us, but Signature Roofing, and we appreciate them. All your roofing needs. Make sure you are following and subscribing to Signature Roofing on Instagram. They're going to be giving away a roof, and so that's going to be great stuff there. Signature Roofing, they're giving away a roof this summer. Follow them on Instagram for more. mysignatureroofing.com. And whether it's Signature Roofing or Element Fencing, we'd be happy to help connect you with our, any of the sponsors, really. If you're looking for a new car or a house with anybody, we can connect you. Element Fencing, Brady and his staff, 25 plus years building fencing projects from the ground up. They can do pergolas, decks as well. Check them out online, elementfencing.com, 631-2790. And we've used them multiple times, and I really appreciate them. And if you're ready, Element Fencing, elementfencing.com. Hey, Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate, number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. You can check him out online at bauscherrealestate.com. If you're looking to buy or sell a home like we did with our family, and we're so happy and thankful for Matt and his team every step of the way. It was tremendous customer service, helped us out, and we are very appreciative and thankful to Matt Bauscher. And if you want to go to the, again, bauscherrealestate.com, but if you want to go to the Horseshoe Collective basketball camp, Matt Bauscher, there's still time to register. It's this Saturday and Sunday. Go to Matt Bauscher's Instagram, Matt Bauscher's Twitter account. He's got a $50 promo code for you. Go check out Matt Bauscher's Instagram. You have the basketball camp, the volleyball camp coming up this Saturday and Sunday with the Horseshoe Collective. And Matt Bauscher has your $50 off coupon promo code from Matt Bauscher. So appreciate him for doing that. And if you are wanting your 3rd to 8th grader to get to learn and play in the practice gym and get to learn from these athletes, and it's going to be an awesome camp this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, they can meet all the new players and things like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. The Horseshoe Collective basketball camps. It's this Saturday and Sunday. There is still time to register. Check out horseshoecamps.com. That's right, horseshoecamps.com. Get more information. Register today, and looking forward to getting Naismith out there. My 11-year-old's going to partake in the camp, so looking forward to that, and I hope to see everybody out there this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the Horseshoe Collective basketball camp, and then they have the volleyball camp in the afternoon. Again, horseshoecamps.com. That was cool. That was awesome. Really appreciate Big Cat for doing that. Dom over there with Barstool, his assistant, for helping set that up. And I appreciate Chris Coots from Boise State as well for initially passing along the contact info, and for him doing that. He didn't have to do that. Some dumb show in Boise, Idaho, but came on. And hope you guys enjoyed the interview. Funny stuff there on Travis Hunter and Ashton Genty. How about him kind of saying it was kind of a ploy there to kind of pump up Travis Hunter for business reasons. And we kind of knew that was the case, but said that there. And now buying a piece of the blue turf that you'll be able to watch on every day on Barstool. He said right there it's going to be seen on the shows and things like that in the hallway. So that's pretty cool as well. And just seemed like a genuinely good dude there, and he wants to come check out the Blue at some point. I had forgotten actually, and I should ask another question about it, but I forgot about Leon Rice. They had him on the show. One of those times Leon was trying to sell tickets and do all those stunts and things back in the day. He can take matches. It's like his little party trick, and put a lit match in his mouth or whatever and eat fire, so to speak. And they ended up having him on the Pardon My Take podcast about that. And so totally forgot about that. But that's funny. Yeah, part of the Blue Turf going to, and then the Hank Bachmeier thing was funny too. Somebody asked, and yes, we did ask about it earlier in the show. Somebody must have come in late. It's Keaton. Yes, we did ask about Hank Bachmeier. Somebody told me that he had beef with Hank Bachmeier, so I asked him about it, and that was funny that he lost money on Hank Bachmeier and said, I'm never betting on Hank Bachmeier again, and then kept betting random schools and realized that Hank Bachmeier had transferred and was the quarterback there. That was that was pretty funny. He even said it that one question, like, yeah, I love Boise State, especially now that Hank Bachmeier's gone. So appreciate Dan for coming on. That was fun stuff. We'll get the full interview reposted to YouTube if you want to watch it. We'll cut up some clips and things and get those out on social media, but appreciate Dan for doing that. So appreciate you guys for checking out the show. Hope you have a great rest of your Thursday, and go subscribe, BroncoNationNews.com, 60% off. That sale's going for a couple more days, 60% off. BroncoNationNews.com right now for all of our recruiting coverage. We got a story that Chris is working on that we can post today. We've got some other news, and obviously our countdown of the 26 most important players. You can go check that out at BroncoNationNews.com and read all the analytics and things. And we're posting daily stories, even in the summer, folks. You're not getting more Boise State content anywhere else. And obviously, once we get around to full camp, we'll have 2, 3, 4 people down at media days, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll have fall camp practices and on the road in Eugene, pregame, postgame. Got a ton of great content scheduled for you guys this season. So excited about it, but we need your help. So please support all the sponsors we told you about throughout the show, including those behind me. And tell them you heard about it on BNN. And if you need me to directly contact you with somebody, one of the sponsors, to try to get the best deal, I can do that for you as well. But support the sponsors, folks. That's the name of the game. And now's the perfect time to go subscribe, BroncoNationNews.com. And appreciate Josh, you for saying that. Appreciate all the BNN crew's work. Daily BSU News, a lifeline for Bronco fans. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate that. To keep it going, we need you to support the sponsors, and we need you to subscribe. So BroncoNationNews.com, one-time fee, 60% off right now, and then you don't have to worry about paying or anything for a full year. And we appreciate it. So thanks a lot. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and go check out the message boards. Go chat at BroncoNationNews.com, and appreciate you guys. We'll be back with Mike Prater, 9 a.m. tomorrow. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com. Take care, everybody.